Welcome back to CASK 529, everyone. I'm Shona.
I'm Bryan, and I was paying attention to the chat.
And he was not paying attention to going live, so
not.
I took over.
I get different rundown every week on.
He really does not, guys.
I really
he
do.
just doesn't listen. He's
I really
not
do.
focused.
I get different verbiage every Wednesday. Okay, so let's go straight to the chat since I was there, and I feel like I left some people hanging. Cheers to Rick Moreland. Thanks for joining us. Life from the Patio. Big T, thanks for being here, sir. Charles, John, Joe B, thanks for joining us. Cheers to all you guys. Rob, the SS supervisor, cheers to you and thanks for joining us. Troy, thanks for joining us, sir. Let's see who else we got. Tamara, thanks for joining us. Mrs. Laura J, cheers to you. Alan Adams, cheers to you, sir. Little Old Fashioned, cheers to you. Let's see who else we got here. Bourbon Kitty, cheers to you. I think Bourbon Kitty might be up there in the running, isn't she?
I do not have that in front of me, so I do not have the answer. I'm sorry.
Matt B, Father Fortenberry, Jamie, thanks for joining us. Mr. Ritchie, thanks for joining us, sir. Bourbon Kitty, I already said. Jaden, thanks for joining us. Cheers to you. Tamara, thanks for joining us. I think David Bays, cheers to you. I think I'm caught up as of this very moment. So it's on you.
Troy, I'm glad you like these hats.
Where's Charles? Where's Charles? He's responsible for these hats.
Brian's arm a little bit on these hats, but he's learned to love them. It keeps his head nice and warm.
It does keep my head warm. When you have a bald head, in fact, we had them on earlier tonight, and I had to take mine off for a while. I was like, "Ooh, I got to cool down a little bit."
So, everyone, I realize that we're not doing What's in the Glen Wednesday in December. And so, with doing the Advent countdown every night or every day.
They all just applauded.
No, they did not. This afternoon when I got home from work, I did post what the 2 trivia topics were for tonight. So, in the next 3 weeks, just look at the community page on Wednesday, and I will have the trivia topics out there since we're not going to have What's in the Glen Wednesday. And to be honest, Brian and I are filming some of the Advent countdown in advance.
So that we can get it posted early in the day.
Yeah, and I have to go to work, so therefore can't really post them and drink during work hours. Even though I want to. I want to.
I just would like to say cheers to Wilmington Piper. I'm pretty sure he was here last week, but I feel like we haven't seen a lot of him. So thanks for joining us, sir.
Yes.
Great to have you back. And Marty, Bourbon Nerd, thanks for joining us. You know, a couple lives ago that I watched from Life from the Patio, I'm thinking that he lost his title as Bourbon Nerd. I think T said you're just like the average bourbon guy now.
Oh, no.
Yeah, but I think he might have got it back.
Oh, let's hope he got it back. All right, so if you did not see the community page, tonight's 2 topics, I really tried to go easy on everyone, and I'm praying that they are 2 easy rounds. Brian did really good, by the way, when he took the quiz.
So you guys should ace it.
The first round is going to be defining bourbon. The second round will be whiskey on the radio. And so for anybody who may be new, just going to go over the trivia rules. We're going to have 2 rounds of 10 trivia questions, those 2 topics I just gave. Tonight's prize for the winners, I am going to be doing, again, the $10 Amazon gift cards. They will be emailed directly to you, the winner, after the live is over this evening. So each trivia round winner will receive one of those. In the holiday spirit, everybody needs $10 on Amazon to spend on Christmas. For every 1,000 points accumulated during the month, we'll get you an entry into the grand prize. This month's grand prize is a bottle of Weller Antique 107 plus the Cask 529 whiskey tasting binder that comes with a lot of great little whiskey tasting sheets inside, dividers, so you can divide it up however you want.
And that will be laser etched to however the winner
Yep,
would like
it'll
it to
have
be.
either your name on it, if you want a quote on it, whatever you want on
If
it.
you want our logo on there, if you don't want our logo on there, whatever you want.
Yep. So if you are a paid patron, and even if you become a paid patron during tonight's live, if you're a paid patron, you will receive an entry for each week that you actually participate in the trivia. If you score a 529 during any round, you will receive an extra 1,000 points. We'll get you an extra entry into the grand prize for the month of December and 1,000 points towards the 2024 Whiskey Trivia Championship Trophy. So with this being the month of December, it is going to be the end of 2024 at the end of the month, which means whoever has the most points through September, October, November, December, since we've been playing, will get this trivia trophy with their name engraved on it, shipped to you.
And like I told Shona before the live started tonight, I know you guys are all worried more about this trophy than you are this 107. So, and I understand that. So I just want to say that in the chat, while you were giving a rundown on tonight's events,
Yes.
Jaden and Tamara have both indicated that they are enjoying the advent calendar
We
so
are
far.
too. Great. Thank you.
We're having a ball with it. Actually, I thought I would enjoy it. I gotta admit, I'm enjoying it more than I thought I would. So,
And I love that Gandhi pointed out, or it was Charles. It was Charles who pointed out that this was like doing What's in the Glen every night.
yeah. And see, that's where I really lost interest in it when he pointed that out.
Did
Father Fortenberry, Jamie, he mentioned that Marty is now the bourbon person.
Oh, the bourbon person. I'm sorry,
I
Marty.
love that. That's classic. We've got Gandhi in the chat now. Cheers to you. Thanks for joining us, Gandhi. We're looking forward to seeing you here in a week and a half or so.
We are.
David Bays, I think has a new name since I was in here last. Maybe not. I could be wrong. I apologize. I know Mitch. I saw Mitch here. Cheers to you, Mitch. Thanks for joining us. I think I'm caught up.
All right. Since he is caught up,
Bourbon and Balls. Charlie's with us.
Charlie.
Charlie, thanks for
Welcome.
joining us.
I am going to switch over the screen so everybody can get signed in for the first round of trivia. I have fallen behind. I have not posted the link, but I will get that done right now. I'll pin the link in case you can't read it on your screen.
Tamara, we're glad to hear that 3 out of the 4 pours have been new to you so far. That's great to hear that you're getting some new stuff. To anybody that's in the chat, I think everybody is probably aware. Back in October, I think it was, we offered to our patrons, and it was a free patron or a paid patron. Didn't matter as long as you were a patron member. Bourbon Advent boxes. And Shona and I came up with 24 bottles. We've got, including Shona and I, 19 people participating. I guess 16 participating in ours. We had one gentleman that bought 3 boxes for gifts, and he filled those bottles himself. So they're not having what we're all having. However, there's 16 of us that are sharing the same pours every day from now to Christmas Eve. And that's what you're seeing us post every day now is we're doing the Advent box.
Yep.
So if you're new here, welcome. There that are following along, that are drinking the same thing we're drinking every day. And we're just having fun with it. I think it's been great. Everybody seems to have good feedback.
Cheers, Kevin.
Matt B is watching the reviews. He's kicking himself for not getting a box.
Oh, if we get a lot of positive feedback, those who got boxes this year, obviously maybe we can just do the sample setup and send the samples next year. But if we get a lot of positive feedback, I may be able to convince Bryan to build more boxes for next year.
What I think we'll do, and it's not like we'll cut it off early, but I would like to get some of that
a little bit earlier.
I'd like to get some of that interest early so we know.
Yeah.
And then I can start getting some boxes ready for those that are going to need boxes. I mean, we made it, and everybody had them in time. But wow.
It really, you never
Wow.
realize how long something takes to do.
Yeah, and I mean,
when you're demoldable.
to those of you that have the boxes, I know they look very simple, and they're not hard, but man, there's a lot of steps there. So, but thanks to everybody that stepped up and said, hey, we'll give these guys a shot, and we'll participate, and hopefully we've done you right. We feel like we did.
Yeah, we definitely tried to put really great samples in there. So hopefully everybody's enjoying them.
Kevin Westfall, cheers to you, sir. Thanks for joining. We know he's not necessarily
John said he forgot. We're sorry, John. I should have reached out to you.
What happened?
He forgot to get the box. But
Oh, John.
next year, I promise, as long as everybody enjoys it this year, we will definitely get more boxes out next year. Because I think you may have mentioned wanting to get one for a coworker or a boss or something to do with you. So we'll definitely keep that in mind.
So far, though, that's been the bulk of, well, that's been all our content for the month is Advent box. So hopefully those that aren't participating aren't hating on it.
Yep. All right. We have 22 people in there. I'm going to give you maybe 30 more seconds to get entered, and we'll go ahead and get in.
But hey, for real, 22 already? That's a great number.
That is great. I'm excited for December's trip. I'm excited, honestly, not only to see who wins the round for December, but I'm excited to see who wins the trophy. Because if you guys all know me, I get kind of geeked out on doing that kind of special, personalized stuff. The last few days, I've been working on all of our paid patrons' ornaments, and I know it's tedious and people will look at me like I'm crazy, but I really love creating stuff for people. So when I have the time to do it, and so honestly, I can't wait to see who gets the trophy.
Shona has a job that keeps her mind very busy throughout the day, and she enjoys coming home at night and creating, which blows my mind because she's using her mind and she uses it all day, but she swears it's relaxing. Therapeutic, I think she said. Hey, I want to mention here, Mitch and Alan both commented that they are enjoying the Advent box.
Good, great.
My question to you guys is, who's sharing with Mom or Tammy? Because I know she's got to be participating. So, Stephen Scone, cheers to you, sir. Thanks for joining us.
Sound issues might be me, though. Is anybody else having sound issues? I'm hoping it's Father Fortenberry only. Please be only Father Fortenberry.
We're hoping Jamie just can't hear us.
All right, guys, I'm going to go ahead and get started on the trivia, regardless if we have sound issues or not. You guys should all be able to play trivia.
Mitch said they pour 3 ways, so that's good, really. They should be getting 3/4 ounce pours that way. No.
Like from it's Father Fortenberry. He's left the. All right.
He left the studio.
I am going to exit out of here real quick, guys. I apologize. I wanted the Christmas scene up here, but it's not. It's playing too many commercials, so we'll go back over to our
Previously scheduled programming. Charlie said that his wife and him just finished Advent numbers 3 and 4. Fun times. Charlie, I'm glad to hear that you guys are enjoying that. I enjoy getting your texts. That's awesome. Bourbon Hunter Lee, cheers to you, sir. Thanks for joining us. The game just started, Bourbon Hunter Lee, so if you want to get logged in there.
Oops, let me turn off that volume, guys.
Father Fortenberry said he's driving. Maybe that's his issue.
All right, so in first place we have Bourbon Kitty and Jaden so far. John, Charlie, Charles, Troy, Joe, G. Poppins, Bourbon Hunter, Gandy all in second. Life from the Patio, and Matt V in third.
G.
Great
Poppins,
job.
thanks for joining us. I didn't see you in the chat. I apologize if I missed you, but thanks for joining us tonight. That's another one of the patio crew.
Oh, G. Poppins.
Gary, I'm going to say
Oh,
Gary.
Gary,
I may
okay.
be wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's right.
So Gary was on their show last night, correct? Up there with Father Fortenberry, sitting out
I
front.
wanted to say they were all on there last night, weren't they?
There's 4 on there last night,
Oh, maybe they weren't all on there.
I think. At least I was washing
DW
blends
might not have been on there
and
last night.
glasses and all kinds of whiskey type items. I was listening,
Yeah, DW.
actively listening.
DW might not have been on there last night. That might have been who they were missing.
Okay, a little bit of movement. We have Charlie and Bourbon Hunter Lee both in first, Bourbon Kitty in second, and Marty and Troy in third. Great job, guys. And gals, sorry.
But are you?
I am. I am praying that you guys are finding this round easier. I know that everybody says I write some hard questions, so I tried to make the first week of December
I feel like
easy and fun.
we could take a poll of the entire
I know everybody would.
all the entrants, and they would all be like, "Yeah, you're impossible." William Hall, cheers to you, sir. Thanks for joining us tonight. Sorry I missed you come in the chat there. And guys, there may be other names I missed. I try hard to get everybody, and I think I've got everybody.
Okay, Bourbon Hunter Lee in first, Bourbon Kitty in second, and Troy in third. Great job.
Rick is sipping on bottle number 1 tonight, Frey Ranch.
Rick he had unfortunately a couple broken bottles in his.
We
so-
shipped, I think, 7.
Yeah, 7 had to be
7
shipped.
of the boxes had to be shipped, and everybody's box, as far as we know, arrived
But Rick's.
in one piece, no harm, except Rick's. And he had 2 broken bottles. So fortunately, they were bottles that we still had some in the bottle. Because there were some bottles that were,
But unfortunately, he got it a few days late.
yeah, number one had to be
I
one of
know.
the bottles that broke, right? So
Why couldn't it have been like, 23 and 24, where
Yeah.
we had plenty of time to get it there?
but I think number 1 was the only one he was going to be late on, so everything else was good.
Yep. All right, and first we have Bourbon Hunter Lee, Troy, and Troy in second, Marty in third. Great job.
Okay, Troy says technically it's container, not barrel for this answer. Alan said that did not accept his first question.
I don't think I can do anything
Yeah,
with
I don't.
that.
We're kind of stuck on that.
And I apologize. I took
Charlie
it
wants-
right off the website, so I used the words they did. I'm sorry.
Charlie wants to be able to change his answer while waiting. I want to be able to change mine on yours too, Charlie.
But I do remember that it is container instead of barrel, so I apologize for that typo.
Troy, thanks for pointing that out.
Now I'm going to feel guilty for the rest of the evening.
Yeah,
so
Sean,
you
you've
know
just
that.
ruined the rest of Shauna's year probably. And I got to live with her.
And first is Bourbon Hunter Lee, Marty in second. Oh, look, Marty even started using Marty and not Bourbon Nerd on there.
Did he?
He really did. And Rob in third.
They got him beat down.
They do. They did beat him down.
Marty and Life from the Patio. That's a rough crowd, Marty. Rick said, dang, give him a chance, man.
Wow, they are all answering really, really quick this evening on these.
So, you've gone
right.
too easy.
All right, Bourbon Hunter Lee in first, Marty in second, and Rob in third.
Rob's at 525. Rob, if you'd had 4 more points, I'd tell you to just go ahead and shut her down for the rest of the round. But Mr. Ritchie, I have not heard of that new law. I apologize. Sadly, I don't watch a lot of news, so
Pop the top law in Ohio. I've
yeah,
not heard of that at all.
Yeah, I'm going to have to research that.
Yeah. Now, I mean, I don't know if it's where you can.
What's that? What's that they have downtown on Art Night? What's that
Well,
called?
they have it anytime. I'm trying to think what it's called, but it's only in downtown Zanesville at this
in
time.
downtown, you can openly walk around
You have to have a special cup.
that are issued by the establishments.
Right. And I'm trying to remember what it is
what it's called, but
we've never done it,
No,
honestly.
we have an art night in good weather, first Friday of every month, and our downtown over the years had really got decimated, I guess. There just wasn't much going on down there, and as the younger generation are coming up, and when I say younger generation, I'm saying like our age, 40s, 50s. They're really trying to bring some business to downtown, and so they've done some things like that. Mm-hmm. And seriously, if you go down there on a Friday night, not even that night, but there's some new things down there that they've started up, and they're starting to bring some people in. Dora,
Yes,
that's exactly right. Is what it's called.
All right, Bourbon Hunter Lee keeping that first place. Marty still in second, and Bourbon Kitty in third.
Matt B. I got to research it now, Matt. I got to see what this is all about.
Yeah, honestly, because
No, Mr. Ritchie, that's not true, is it? That's a bunch of BS. What's the purpose? So the store
you
owner
have
can
to
taste
pop
it?
the top on a new allocated bottle before you leave the store.
Well, no, it's BS because that's not us. I know what they're doing. They're
What?
trying to eliminate flipping.
Oh,
They're trying to eliminate flipping.
I guess I don't mind that because we seriously do open.
Yeah, we don't buy stuff
lot of
to
bottles.
look at the pretty bottle sitting on the shelf.
However,
really.
if we both go in and if I would ever to go stand in line with Brian and we both got the same bottle,
Then it may be a while
I
before
wouldn't
the
want
second
both
one
of them
gets opened.
opened.
But
we'll have to see.
yeah, Charles said so they can't be flipped. I'll tell you what, secondary market in Ohio is terrible.
So then they'll pull us over for open containers on our way
No,
home.
they won't. But yeah, and it's a shame too because you buy everything at retail if you buy it from a store. But OHLQ has got their hands so heavy on it that it's so hard to find some of the stuff that it just fuels the secondary market, and it's crazy. I mean, the Facebook pages that are out there for secondary market stuff, it's just ridiculous. But I guess that's just our hobby, right? I mean, that's what we're into, and that's one of the things you have to deal with. So.
I had some movement there. Marty took over for first, Bourbon Hunter Lee in second, and Bourbon Kitty in third. I believe we have one question after this one.
I just realized that I rocked the whole time we're on here, and I apologize for that. When we do lives with Mike and Mark, I'm drinking, so I'm standing still.
You can drink.
No, but I can't.
I prefer you to rock because I don't see it. Then you're like drumming your thumbs and fingers. However, I will tell you this Friday we should be finding out if Brian was a winner for any of the lottery tickets that he went around and got.
For
Which one are you hoping for the most, if you even win?
you know what, I think so. I've got tickets here for King of Kentucky, Old Fitz, Russell's Rick House, Birthday Bourbon. I think those are the four I went for.
All right, give me 1 second. All right, a little bit of movement. Marty in first, Tamara in second, Bourbon Hunter Lee in third, with the last question going now.
Joe B said he got a 539. I'm guessing that's a score. You missed it, Joe B. I think of the bottles that I went to try to get. King of Kentucky, Sean and I have talked about. I don't know if we'll keep it if we get it. I know we've got some friends that would really like to have it, and we may try to work out an MSRP trade, a couple bottles for that bottle. Because I think here in Ohio, that's a $350 bottle. I almost, Old Fitz 10-year is a bottle that I think I would be most excited about if we won.
Yep. So Troy asked, isn't the answer TTB? And from what I read online on that, it was the U.S. Code of Federal Regulations. So the source I was reading, that's where it's defined at, is in that. So that's the answer I have. I'm not disagreeing that maybe it is the TTB. I just am using the source that I had on that.
Look at you getting all our people.
I know. Tamara, congratulations. So I have your email address. I will get you that gift card emailed.
So that's $20 so far Tamara's racked up. Didn't she win last week?
Yeah, I think she did. I'm not sure, but I'm pretty sure she did.
Pretty sure she won a week
Switch over.
last week.
And
So congratulations, Tamara.
Bryan is going to entertain you while I am working on the next one.
Okay, guys. My go-to question, what's everybody sipping on tonight? For me, it is High Bank, straight bourbon. Sean and I, obviously, as you can imagine, we had some bottles sitting around that just needed finished off. And so that was one of the ones.
If I can interrupt you 1 second, I just want to say that Bourbon Hunter Lee was right behind Tamara with 746, but we had William Hall and Joe B so close to 529. They had a 527 and a 525. So close, guys, so close.
So I just want you to know that I was killing time, and you weren't even doing your thing yet.
Yep, you can go ahead. Kill some more time.
Okay, so what do we got going on here? We got Wilmington Piper sipping on some Elijah Craig C924 barrel proof. John Shank having some Maker's Mark BEP 2023 BEP. I got to think about that, John. Jaden is also some Elijah Craig barrel proof. His is A123, so a different batch. Rick is still on that Frey Ranch out of his Advent box. Dang, Rick, that wasn't that big of a pour, man, to still be drinking that thing. Stephen Scone, 2023 Pinhook. Never heard of that. Have you heard of Pinhook?
Yes.
You have? I have not heard of that.
It has a horse on the bottle, I believe. Correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure it does.
Joe B was drinking some Blantons, now water. That's good, Joe. You gotta get the water in there, man. Which Blantons? Just regular Blantons? I'm guessing. Charles. Oh, he's just telling everybody cheers. Sorry, Charles. False alarm. Charlie, he finished Advent Samples 3 and 4. Won't say just in case. He was surprised about 4. Now on to Malam and Green, very small batch, which are his go-to right now. Let's see. Charles is drinking some Balcones. Hey, Charles, did you get that bottle paid for today? Do I need to make sure I get arrangements up there to get that? Bourbon.
Thank you, Alan, for telling everybody to hit that like button.
Thank
Mitch
you, Alan.
is having an old fashioned. That sounds really good. I haven't had an old fashioned in a while.
Probably since you made one for Mitch.
Maybe that might be the last time. Well, I didn't have one that night though, so he had it and I didn't.
Okay, Gandy Road sipped on Sir Davis. I'm gonna say that's Beyonce. Gandy, correct me if I'm wrong, sir. Not terrible, but not worth the money. Okay. Rob, SS Supervisor. Yeah, I'm not even going to try to say that. I would if I wasn't online.
Rob is Paradigm Jane Rye.
John says that the pinhook does have a horsey on it. Loves the high proof. What proof is that, John?
And Charles is going to take care of that tomorrow.
Okay, just let me know when you have it, and I'll get up there and get it for you. No problem at all.
Mitch, that is great because next time you can make my old fashioned for me.
You can come on right back here
And make it.
and mix it on up. You already taking entries?
Yeah, I was doing that while you were talking. And Rob put that in there, Paradigm for you.
Paradigm. Hey, Rob, thanks for dumbing it down for me, man. Hey, Charlie. Is Charlie still in the... I'm sure Charlie's still here. He's going to play around too. How about them Bengals, Charlie?
How about those Browns, Brian?
Yeah, how about them Browns because they lost again too?
No, but they beat the Steelers.
They did. They're still looking up at us, though.
He said, whatever. So 117.6 proof is the pinhook.
That's a good proof. That's a good proof point. We, like Shona said, we are recording a few shows ahead of time for the Advent box. Man, there's some good stuff coming. There's some. I should have paid more attention to what she was putting in them bottles. She would have told me to forget about it, but I should have paid attention. Charlie, I did not. I saw where that was going to be on, but I didn't watch it. You know what? That organization, man, you can say what you want. I mean, all jokes aside, we can dog each other about who we root for. But that organization has done it right for so many years. And I'm not a Mike Tomlin fan. I'm just not. I wasn't when they hired him. I wasn't a fan. But the fact that that guy in 20 years has never had a losing season in the NFL. And I was one of the guys that when Ben Roethlisberger retired, I said, yeah, but he's never had to coach without Ben Roethlisberger.
All right, I'm going to pause you. I'm going to go ahead and get the game started, guys, and Brian can finish talking about the Steelers.
But he's still getting it done. Rob was at the game. And he's crying. Rob, I didn't realize you were a Bengals fan. I'm sorry, man. Wipe them tears.
Mitch is too.
I got a terrible towel if you need it to wipe them tears up. Just saying. Oh, I never would have guessed that differential in the scouts, Charlie. 27 to 6, 5, 6. John, you got a better route to the top than what Shauna's got, so don't look down on yourself.
There is nothing wrong with the Browns.
Well, John's rooting kind of for the Browns, except his version of the Browns.
Ravens.
His version of the Browns has Super Bowl ring.
All right, and first is Jaden by 3 points over Bourbon Kitty in second and Keith in third. Great job.
Josh, you can't just put A in the chat, man. You know you got to log into the game.
Josh, you have time. We are only on the second question, so you can still gather up some points.
Yeah, get logged in and see if you can get some points.
Yep. The code for this second round, the link is up. It's pinned. The code is, let me scroll up and find it.
565169. If you want to type that in. She's not believing me. I'm used to it, guys.
Okay, let's see. Jaden's keeping the lead with first place, Gandy in second, and Charles in third.
Good job, guys. Rob. So, Rob, your wife knows who to root for. He said his wife has one of those dirty rags.
It is dirty. Brian's is on his golf bag, and it's disgustingly dirty.
I just want to say,
honest.
Rob, even though your wife has that rag, I'll bet you know not to mess with it because you will be jinxed. It happens year after year. Some team will grab that dirty rag.
Father Fortenberry's back in the house.
Father Fortberry in the house. Welcome back, sir. Thanks for coming back. We're always honored to have the patio guys here.
Jaden keeping the lead, Gandy in second, and Lori J coming in third. Great job.
Rob said, "Oh no, I don't touch it."
William Hall, I chose all kinds of genres in this. You have some country, you have pop, rock, whatever.
William Hall.
It's all kinds.
What genre of music is this?
I promise you. Most of it is country because, well, country sings about what? Drinking, trucks, what else? Killing people. I don't know.
Kicking your dog.
Jail.
And drinking.
Yeah. Jaden still in first, Gandy in second, and Lori J in third.
Charlie, I'm just reading what Charlie wrote in reference to Rob. I can only imagine. I can only imagine. I'm going to leave that alone too. So, Father Fortenberry said Buddy had duck fajitas. He was trying to scam some. I guess I'm not sure who Buddy is.
No, and I don't want duck fajitas.
You don't think?
No.
I'll bet they'd be good.
I think they'd be like,
You've never had
Greasy.
duck, so how can you say?
I don't know. Jaden in first, Candy in second, Lori J in third. They are keeping that lead.
Well, they are.
Here we go, William Hall, ZZ Top.
Charlie got in trouble. My wife says I need to be nice to Rob SS Supervisor. Is that why he got a wrench on your channel, Charlie? Because your wife made you do it?
Brian's used to that too, Charlie, so it's all good.
She's not wrong. She lets me think that I can do what I want. Like if we're with friends. And then when everybody leaves, it's like, okay, conference time. Here's what you did wrong. No, it's really not like that, but I like to tease her and say it is. Because then everybody's like, is she really like that?
Rob is your mic. We love our mic too.
I don't know, Charlie. I'm not sure which one I'm picking.
Jaden's still keeping the lead. Bourbon Nerd. Oh, he changed his name back. Bourbon Nerd.
Did he?
Marty changed his name.
Yeah, he's
in
like
second.
He's like, I can't have them dogging on me.
And George and Gandy in third. Great job.
Thank you guys all for being here tonight. If you guys could hit that like button, I sure would appreciate it. Shona sure would appreciate it. How's that?
Hey, I will tell you that, as anybody knows, putting together the channel is work, but I really enjoy doing the whiskey trivia. We both do. It's a lot of fun for us, so we really appreciate you guys coming back week after week to join us.
I like the whiskey trivia because it's live, and I like to go live with you guys. And I wish we had the guts to finally hit the button and bring people on.
But we don't, because it keeps messing up every time we try
every
it.
time we tested, something was wrong, and I think we know what's wrong. It's just a matter we got to put our AirPods in, but I just don't have the faith.
Jaden is still on top. Gandy in second and Rick in third. This is fun, guys.
Rob said Erica from upstairs likes him. They've started calling Charlie's wife Erica from upstairs. Absolutely, Charlie. Thank you for those words of wisdom. It seems so simple, that like button, but man, YouTube will put an elbow on your throat if you're not getting that like button. They don't care how many people are watching.
However, if you don't like us, just don't hit anything. Don't hit the dislike button. Just don't watch.
Thanks for stopping by.
Please don't hit that dislike button.
Because it doesn't take near as many of those for YouTube to pay attention.
No. Jaden's still in the lead. Tamara in second and Rob in third. I love this round. It is mixed. It is getting all mixed up.
I think this is a round I got like...
I think you got a 60.
I think I got a 60
Which
on
is
this
strong
round, which
for
is
Bryan.
solid. I mean, that's solid for Bryan.
Putting yourself as a third person there.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say solid for BC. At least I said Bryan.
Trying to get you to quit moving. Rocking.
Earlier you told me to move. So make up my mind. You will.
Okay. Jaden's still keeping the lead. Tamara right behind him in second and Gandy in third. Last question for this round.
Thank you guys for hitting that like button. We really appreciate it. And I know we harp in our videos and our lives. It's just what YouTube needs, or what we need, for YouTube to realize people like our content. This YouTube stuff's a struggle. Speaking of which, if there are any channels in the chat that would like to link their channel, please.
Oh no, Teresa, mercifully, it's the last one. I am so sorry. I really, really tried to make easy rounds.
Anybody in the chat that wants to link their channel, please go ahead and do so. I know we've got at least 3 channels in the chat, so.
Absolutely. And if anybody has suggestions for next week, Rick kind of mentioned the music. I don't know if I went the way Rick wanted me to go with the music. However,
I haven't
this is
seen
what I
any
found.
participation from Rick in the chat.
However, please give me some ideas for the next week. Next 3 weeks would be great. I'd appreciate that. Tamara, great job.
Again?
2 gift cards coming your way. Well, actually, I'm just going to do one $20 one. So just to let you know that you'll only get 1 email if that's good.
That's not a $120 one. That's
No.
one $20 one.
But I am going to switch over. I'm going to see if anybody did a 529. No, Mitch was at a 532 and George was at a 522.
Okay, Charlie said movie perhaps.
Okay, movies.
And you know what? We can probably get some info from Andy on that.
Well, not only
Because
that, but
Andy,
I've actually been watching some recent Netflix shows. I forget which Netflix show I was just watching. It seemed like every episode they were always at a bar drinking a different whiskey, and so I'm sure like we can find Maker's Mark seems to be like doing a lot of.
so listen to this. Jaden says, sadly, he doesn't know any country after 1990s. I don't know why. I would have guessed that Jaden wouldn't know much country prior to.
I get that, Jaden, because in the last, I would say, decade, honestly, since I've been married to Bryan for the last 17 years almost, I don't know much country either. Not that we don't listen to music, I barely do, but I would say the 90s when I was in high school and single and during that realm.
I just want to say, because it was directed at something we said earlier. Rick, I do see you in the chat now, but I hadn't been seeing you earlier, so apologize for that. But yeah, the country is, in my eyes, there really isn't much country after 2000. I'm sure there's some, so don't beat me up over it. I do listen to some country. I did not listen to country prior to my lovely wife forcing it down my throat.
I am honestly all about songs like Brown Eyed Girl and You're So Vain and
That's not country.
what's all those little different songs and
You know what?
all those songs that you hear when you're
I
out
grew
and
up
the live bands are playing.
like I'm guessing a lot of the guys in the chat. I grew up on classic rock. I had a brother that was 11 years older than me. And I was born in 72, so he was 11 years older than me. Man, I grew up listening to REO Speedwagon and Boston and Styx and some other classics, Eagles, and some stuff that was, obviously Ozzy Osbourne. And I feel so blessed because I had a brother that was 11 years older than me, and I was introduced to those kinds of things. But I will listen to anything. Well, almost anything. Nothing against rap. There's just really never been any that I found that I desire to listen to. But other than that, and Shona too, I feel like we have complemented each other in the music. She listens to things that she probably never dreamt she would have listened to, as do I.
Yeah. So I was trying to read, but they keep refreshing on me, so I'm getting kind of dizzy reading the comments. But I did see a comment in there, and I didn't catch who said it, but the old country. I actually grew up, my grandpa, I hung out with my grandpa a lot, and I'm trying to think of his name, but definitely Johnny Cash and all those older singers.
Shona and I love Johnny Cash.
I am a huge Johnny Cash, but all of those singers from that year, that is what I grew up listening to over and over, and honestly, that's what I still listen to. If I'm in the kitchen cooking, like, or meal prepping for long hours, I'll tell Alexa to play Johnny Cash radio, and that's what I'll hear all.
If I'm working in the yard, whether it be mowing the grass, weed eating, blowing leaves, whatever. If I'm working out in the yard and I got my AirPods in, I'm listening to Johnny Cash radio on Pandora. It's not all Johnny Cash. I mean, they play a little bit of everything, but it's that era. So, I don't know. We'll listen to anything, and it actually benefits you because you never know what you're going to hear when you go to different places. So,
Nope, you don't.
okay, what else we got going on here?
I'm not
Beastie
sure.
Boys, Wilmington Piper. Yeah, that's Wilmington Piper. That's pretty far into rap for me too. That's and that was back in my day. We've got a buddy that we used to travel on the bikes with, and he was a Beastie Boy nut.
So I will tell you, while Brian is reading those, I will get the scores added together and get those out on the community page along with the patron page so everybody can see what scores they have entered, if they have an entry towards the grand prize at this moment. I will also, on Wednesdays on the community, since we're doing the Advent countdown, I'll just put a little post out there Wednesdays late afternoon after I get off work with what the 2 topics are going to be for Wednesday night's trivia. I don't know if I'm missing anything else or not, but if you guys do have topics, if you did put topics in there, I probably missed them in the chat because every time I scroll down to try to look, it pops right back up on me.
Yeah,
So
chat's moving fast. You got
I'm
it.
having a difficult time looking at the chat, but if you do have topics, if you would just email me at cask529info@gmail.com. That way I know if you have different topics. I do have movies written down, but if there's other topics, just email them to me so that I'm sure to get them for next week. I generally work on those on either Sunday or Monday for Wednesday, so anything what you guys would like. I'm trying to make them easier, guys. I truly am.
So I've got to go here into the chat. Wilmington Piper said 70s and before country. So my dad, if we went anywhere in the car, I listened to the Oak Ridge Boys, which I know primarily is 80s, right? Statler Brothers, Roger Miller, Herb Alpert and the Tijuana Brass. I mean, I've got, I don't know it all like the back of my hand, but Sean and I were out with some friends a few years ago. We were on a shuttle bus. It was a winery tour. And Roger Miller came on. And I can't think of the name of the song. I know the song, but I can't think of the name of it. But we started singing it. And the girl that was with us is about 10 years older than me, which makes her a little bit older than Shona. And she turned around, she's like, how'd you guys know that? My parents are old. Gandhi, Patsy Cline. Shona probably knows all about Patsy Cline.
I love Patsy Cline, and I love Loretta Lynn, and
Bourbon Nerd, Hank, Cash, Jones, Jennings. Yeah, those are all solid. Father Fortberry, his son loves some Cash and Waylon. Jamie, your boy's got to be what? Is he 10? That's awesome, though.
Nothing wrong
You
with
know
some
what that
Waylon
is? That's
Jennings.
good upbringing right there. That's good upbringing right there.
I ain't got
he probably
no
had bourbon in
cigarettes.
his.
I love that, Rick. I ain't got no
That's the song.
cigarettes.
That's the song that came on and we started singing. But what's the name of it? Trailers for Sale or Rent.
I do love that song, though.
Wilmington's 3 years older than me. Well,
King of the Road, yes.
King of the Road,
that is the
absolutely
song.
right. My dad, that would come on, I think it was on a tape, actually, a mixtape. And I think I made the mixtape because he said, here's what I want on this tape. Anyway, he knew that. He just knew all that stuff. Elvis,
Yep.
that's how I knew about Elvis.
I just want Rick to know that I was trying to really make him proud if he's watched the Advent shows, not the day 1, but day 2 and after. I actually used the AI and I tried to generate like a just little short clip for our Advent. So Rick, I'm hoping that you've seen that and like said, hey, that a girl.
Stephen Scone, it's not that we're old, but technology is changing so quickly. When I had my MP3 player, my playlist was a lot what you just described there. I mean, it was all over the place. You never knew what you were going to hear on that thing. But that's just the music I like. I'm not dedicated to one genre, but there are genres I just am not interested in. Man, this music chat, we got this thing going on now. I just can't read as fast as what everybody's typing. Charles has got some suggestions up there. Jaden primarily listened to Hank Sr. His mom called him an old man. I get that. So, when I rode bike, I always rode I had 3 different Harleys and they were all full dress, so I always had a stereo. And the stuff that I would listen to when Shona and I first started dating, she'd be like, turn that down. I don't want anybody to hear me on this bike with that music playing.
I won't say anything more than that. However, I do want to welcome Keith, newest patron, just joined. Keith, I normally do a shout out, but I want you to know that we have pre-recorded and already posted a lot of the next few nights' shows. So
It'll probably be a week before you.
I promise you that you will get called out on one of our shows, but it's going to be a few days. So please don't think it's going to be. However, you definitely get the extra entry for this evening on participating.
Thank you, Keith, and welcome to our so far small family that's growing.
Thank you very much.
We appreciate you having that much interest in our content. So
yes, absolutely.
We really do appreciate it. And we like to think we do some fun stuff. And something actually that I was supposed to mention at the halfway point is everybody that has a glass coming for their 4-month patron membership.
Yep.
Those are probably going to ship within the week.
I would say probably Monday, because
Monday?
I would like to ship your ornaments in with those for
and
every
that's-
paid patron that's getting them.
And that's another, the ornaments.
Yep.
We probably were a couple days behind on those. There was a lot went in. I mean, Shona had a lot of gluing and painting and whatnot to do. The laser works quick, like right now. But
Again, I love doing them, so please don't take that as...
those have been polyurethaned. We just don't want to pack that. That just happened tonight.
Yep.
So we don't want to package those. We want to give them a few days to make sure they're dry so nothing sticks to them.
Yes.
So
I promise everything is coming and it will be shipping out soon. I promise.
Miss Lori J, I mentioned the King of Rock and Roll just a few minutes ago. It was just a footnote though, but I did mention them. I think Mrs. Lori J getting ready to whoop up on me.
I've watched some of Miss Lori J's videos, and the King of Rock and Roll stands in her backyard. So I know that she's all about Elvis.
She's got a statue in her backyard.
Just
That's
a little,
awesome.
like a little Elvis gnome.
It don't matter. It don't matter. He's there.
I even asked her once, I'm like, is that Elvis back there?
He doesn't say thank you very much, does he?
I used to drive my mom and dad nuts. You know, back when you went to the video stores and rented videos. Well, I literally wore out a Dirty Dancing video, and finally the video store owner in our small little town said, you know, like, you can go to Big Bear and actually get this for $5 instead of renting it for every Friday night. But I used to always make her also rent like Blue Hawaii and all those Elvis Presley movies, and I just love them.
You know, when I was a kid, of course, I can remember when Elvis died, but within a few years after that, I can really remember. I can remember watching all the Elvis movies on TV because he had a lot of movies.
He did. So Keith just asked, what's the cool ice cream place in Zanesville? That is Tom's Ice Cream Bowl. Yes, I need to get there and get my little candy boxes for Christmas gifts.
So, shameless, I guess. They sell a box of, what is it, a 5-pound box?
No, it's 1 pound boxes.
1 pound box of mixed nuts.
Yep, his parents want every year.
The shape of the box, it's too long, but the width of the box is perfect to use as a gift card box.
Yep.
So we buy like 4 of those boxes every year for all 4 of our parents, and we put gift cards in them. But yeah, it's, I don't know, it's less than 10 minutes from us.
Yeah, it's not very far, honestly.
Yeah.
Zanesville has a lot of construction going on. With
Interstate 70 is in the
and
middle of
downtown is
a
like
seven-year
nightmare.
a 7-year reconstruction process through downtown, and we are
So if it used to take 5 minutes, it now takes 15.
at least, yeah. So, like 4 more years, I think. It won't be long. We'll be over. Okay, Rick said rare breed rye is very good. Rick, I'm glad you like that. That is, I won't say it's my favorite rye, but that thing is solid. And we did a video, I don't know how long ago it's been now. It's been a good while. Sean and I were talking about what is the best bottle to use in an old fashioned.
Oh, yeah.
And so she came downstairs one night. I said, I'm going to set you up a blind. You stay upstairs till I'm ready.
I thought you were going to say the pumpkin pie, because I think
Oh,
actually...
well, that's another one. You can talk about that in a
the
minute.
pumpkin pie, too.
So
Rick,
she-
get a piece of pumpkin pie out.
So she come downstairs expecting to see four pours of bourbon. And there were 4, well, there were 8, because I had to have 4. There were 8 cocktails. And she was like, oh, my God, what's that? So I had made 4 different old fashions, exact same recipe, just different bottle in each one. And one of the bottles was an old Wild Turkey rare breed rye, which is 112.2 proof. And that thing, obviously you're not going to make old fashions out of a $60 bottle of rye, but that was the best old fashioned out of the whole lineup.
Yep, it definitely was. Keith, I see that you travel this area for work. If you're ever in the area, just send us an email and let us know that you're in the area. Maybe we can meet up for a drink. The downtown now has the Exchange where
Yeah.
we can meet up for drinks. They also, right across from the Exchange, had like a little bourbon place that
It's called Taste of Ohio.
we've not been there yet.
We've not been, and it's, if you've ever been to some of the bigger cities that have these wine bars, you go in and you get a prepaid credit card, gift card, credit card, whatever. When you buy the card, you tell them how much money to put on it, and then you put that card
And like a slot
like
machine
there'll
type
be
thing.
maybe 4 flavors in a machine, and you'll find the flavor you want. You put that card in there, and you choose up what size pour you want. It's a pretty slick deal. We haven't been there. We keep saying we need to go because it's kind of our jam, and we need to see what it's all about. But
And we truly do love to support local businesses because, I mean, like Brian said earlier, our downtown, it's trying to revitalize, and so we really do need to get there.
yeah, Mrs. Lori J, is your 10-year-old, is he actually sing? She said that he's an Elvis tribute artist. So does he actually sing?
Oh, that's cool if he does.
I saw some pictures, I think, where he was in costume, and I thought that's kind of cool. But I'm thinking there's a lot more behind those pictures I saw. Gandhi said King Creole is the best Elvis movie ever. I don't know if I saw that one. King
I
Creole.
don't think, Gandhi, I don't know if I've seen that one, so I'm going to have to see if I can find that one. That's not ringing a bell, but I mean, obviously when I was doing this, I was like 8 to like maybe 14, so I need to see if I have seen it. I just remember Blue Hawaii for sure.
So Gandhi says his new favorite 90 proof bottle is True Story. I've never heard of that. It's finished in white I'm going to say that's Moscato cask. Full of flavor. Mr. Ritchie said he does have a couple songs then. That's really cool. That's
It
awesome.
is. Yeah.
That is super cool. And Rick said that the good thing, it's good that he likes that rye, but now he's got to go get a bottle.
Sorry, Rick.
That's what happens, Rick. Somebody sends you a sample and you're like, wow, I didn't think it was going to be like that.
I feel like an evil friend now.
But
Like,
do you? But do you?
Because, bourbon shopping is expensive and it is the holidays, so I didn't mean to do that to you, Rick. I promise you I didn't.
I promise you she did, Rick.
I'm just happy that I remembered that you asked to taste those.
So, Stephen Scone, he had it in his hand like 5 times in the last 2 days and put it back. Back to music for just a second, because this is kind of, I got 2 cool stories. Well, one cool story, one like really. So when we came home from Desert Storm in 1991, I was on the USS Saratoga, an aircraft carrier, and we were out of Mayport, Florida. My squadron was out of Jacksonville, so across town. The night before we pulled in, we'd been at sea for 8 months, and the USO brought Whitney Houston out to the ship with the idea that she would put on a small performance for us. She flew on what they call a COD, which is basically a cargo plane that is carrier based. She lands, she gets out of the back of the plane. I'll keep the details to myself, but I will just say that the front of her looked like she did not have a pleasant flight. She hurt her vocal cords in landing and was not able to perform for us. So we were all like, yeah, perfect. Thanks, USO. So that was in 1991. In 1993, we pulled out on a cruise, and we were somewhere in the Med, and this was on board the USS Roosevelt, another aircraft carrier, and Charlie Daniels came out. Quite a different scenario from Whitney Houston. He lands. He says, I'm not going to do a show for these guys. I'm going to do 2 shows for these guys because you're telling me everybody can't come watch me. So if I do 2 shows, you ought to be able to get the majority of the crew here to watch me. So they set them up in the hangar bay. First show, I was selected by my squadron to be part of the first show to go watch. And of course he asks, what songs everybody want to hear? And everybody wants to hear The Devil Went Down to Georgia. So he, naturally they could only bring so much stuff with them because, as a cargo plane, they're coming to a Navy vessel. It's really not all about entertainment. It's kind of all about war. So he says, I can't play the song because I couldn't bring my fiddle with me. And we're all thinking, really, Charlie Daniels, and you don't have your fiddle? So in between the first and second show, somebody on the ship...
keep telling your story.
Somebody on the ship had a fiddle, and they got it to Charlie Daniels. I'm sure they got it to somebody on his staff because he had an entourage with him. But bottom line is they got it into Charlie's hands. Well, the show was televised on the closed circuit television system on the ship. And Charlie played The Devil Went Down to Georgia. And by the end of the song, every string on the fiddle was hanging off the fiddle. Now, that was 1993, so 31 years ago. I'm sure the fiddle went back to the gentleman that owned it. If that was my fiddle, it would still look like that. The strings would still be hanging off of it. And I'd say, yep, Charlie Daniels did this.
Definitely. I would definitely. I was laughing at Joe B's comment. I met Charlie Daniels years ago. My Steelers jacket. Oh.
Joe B. I knew I liked you, okay. Joe B.
So Keith, he asked what's everyone's favorite new bottle. And his is the RY3 rye blend. And I am going to butcher this. Naranja wine cask. So good. I have never heard of that.
What's the comment? Oh, Keith. I thought you said Pete.
Oh, no, Keith. I'm sorry. The RY3. I've never even heard of RY3.
Yeah, RY3. I have heard of it. I've seen RY. I don't know much about it, but I've seen RY.
Is that a Kentucky or where's that from? It's okay. So what is our favorite newest bottle at the moment? And I do have one that's my favorite, and it's one that we just filmed. And so I really don't want to disclose that one at the moment because I don't want to I want everybody to know. However, let me see. What is my favorite other bottle? Because I have a lot of them.
Okay, we can get RY3 whiskey. I don't know how many bottles of RY3 there are. But here in Ohio, we can get RY3 100 proof
Oh.
for $29.99. That's
Oh.
probably not what he's talking
No,
about.
that's probably not. So, Keith, honestly, my favorite go-to, used to be Woodford Reserve Double Oak, and I still will go to that one over and over as well because I still enjoy it. I love the oakier notes and stuff like that, and a cherry note in whiskey. I am in love with Whiskey War, which is a high bank whiskey that is from Columbus, Ohio, and it's the double oaked. I love the double oaked. It was our last month's giveaway as well, but right now they source their products from MGP. They will be releasing their first own bourbon in January, but High Bank up in Columbus, Ohio, they do release some really good blends from the MGP products, and this happens to be my favorite one at the moment.
Yeah, and I call that Shauna's bottle, although I have taken a few pours out of it. Boy, I don't know. That's hard to pick a favorite bottle at this moment. Did he say it had to be a new bottle?
He did say newer, but I mean, but there is another one that if you ask me that next week, I'll tell you which one that is because that will be released.
Yeah, and what
really
she's
loving
referring
that
to
one.
is we've tasted a couple things for the Advent box that we had never had, that are out there in queue right now waiting to be posted in the next few days. They were phenomenal. So there's some good stuff coming. Man, I don't know.
Orange wine
Shauna
cask from
picked out a Whiskey War bottle, and I feel like High Banks is fairly new. They've got a cigar cask, and I know there's some guys in the chat that have had it. That's phenomenal. I mean, it's absolutely incredible. We've had batch 1 and batch 2 this year. I think batch 2 was actually better than 1.
Yeah, I agree with that.
I feel like a lot of times as the batches go, they lose something, but that wasn't the case. But they have a midnight cask that is sherry. It's a port wine finish.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
It's like 107 I think, or 108 proof.
And I think they actually add port wine to it as well.
Oh, they may. I don't know that,
I'm pretty
but
sure
they
they
may.
do.
But that is, if I have a bottle of midnight cask in the bar, it doesn't last.
It doesn't. We went through like a couple bottles, and I look around and I'm like, oh, where's the midnight cask?
Yeah.
And it's like gone. And
Well,
like,
and here's the problem is, and that's just how we are at our home bar. Not only do I love it, I want everybody else to love it too. So I'm always like, hey, try this, you got to try this. And Charles, there he is right there, midnight cask. Midnight cask is the bomb, because we sent him a bottle. I just love that bottle.
yeah, it is very good.
Alan, there he is talking about the cigar cask.
Yep.
Charlie, cigar cask. They just make, it's kind of cool to be that close to us, a local distiller. We'll call it local. They're almost an hour away. We can go in there and we just love going there. We took some of the patrons there for a tour about a month ago.
Yeah, a few weeks ago. Yeah.
So we went in, we met everybody, we had brunch. We took a tour, we did a tasting at the end of the tour. I think everybody had a great time, and that's when, well, no. I don't know if Rob bought a bottle that night or that day or not. I know Alan did. That's probably when Alan got, no, not the cigar cask, because it was gone by then, I think, wasn't it?
No, because they had set all new. Because remember, they had that veteran show and they had those barrel picks.
They had that barrel pick cigar cask out front. That's
Yep.
right. Gandhi says he'll be at High Bank next Thursday.
Oh, There you
And
go.
he, now see, this is how everybody's palate's different. For him, Midnight Cask is his least favorite.
Get
And
that.
some of the stuff that I know that Gandy drinks, I get that.
Mm-hmm.
I get that. It's definitely it's not your traditional bourbon
Yep.
or whiskey.
So-
It's just not.
I did see today, I did receive an email from High Bank that Friday, a couple days from now, they will be releasing an email stating 5 new bottles that they are going to be releasing the next Friday. I'm very anxious about that because I've been told over and over that their bourbon's not going to be released till January, but I'm wondering if they're not going to sneak in their bourbon a month early.
For Christmas. Yeah, and that was kind of my thought too. We talked about it before we went live tonight, and I was like, "What do you think? What do you think it's going to be?"
So Gandy, you may be missing it just by one day.
Well, but will he? They're going to announce it, but they're not going to release it till the next.
Right, and he's going next Thursday.
He's going Thursday. That's
Yeah,
right.
so he'll be there one day sooner. But that's okay. If they do Gandy.
Gandy is a talker.
we
He'll
can-
talk them out of it if they got it. He'll talk them out of it. I got faith in him. Okay, what else we got going on here? He said he's not a big fan of port finishes. So what he's saying is it doesn't matter who it is.
No, and I get that.
And I like port finishes. I like port wine.
Brian does. Yeah.
So I think that's probably why I like the port finish. Shauna took me to trying to think how many years ago it was. 12, 13 years ago maybe. She took me to a wine sensory class. It was like a 3-day course. And we learned about what bottles tasted like that had bad corks, cork taint, different things.
He enjoyed every minute of it, guys.
I'm not complaining about it. I did have a good time. And I would take the same class again. It was that good of a time. They would pass a bottle around the room and you could take a sample out of it. Not that you could. That's part of the class. You had to, so they could teach you, here's what you should get out of this and here's what you should notice and that kind of thing. Well, anyway, when the port wine made its trip around the room, I just wanted to put that thing under the desk because that's just how I liked it. But I know that everybody doesn't like port wine like that. I don't think Shauna doesn't like port wine like that, but she does like that Midnight Cask.
I do like the bourbon finished in it. I'm not a big port wine drinker on its own, just port wine. I'm more of a drier, non-sweet. Brian says sucking all the juices from your mouth.
Terrible stuff.
I like dry things. I'm not a super sweet person at all. I love oakiness. That's why I love the double oaks, the triple oaks, things like that. I love that drying taste.
So Stephen Scone, he's having his nightcap pour. Grander rum, aged 12 years in an ex-bourbon barrel and finished in a Weller barrel. Wow.
Awesome.
That's a busy rum.
It is.
Round, round, get around, I get around. Gandy said he loves that stuff.
Y'all should just wear
Richie.
the Santa hat.
I don't know. I feel like
I'm
he's
gonna
taking
wear
a
it.
jab at us.
Hey, I'm just gonna wear it the whole month of December for everything. I just love it.
So
I
we've
really
got
do.
to go to a Christmas party in a few days, and I said tonight we should just wear the Santa hats.
Yep. My work Christmas party. I'm like, yeah, I'm for it.
Yeah, why not? I'm down. We'll be the only ones there wearing Santa hats, I can tell you that.
It's all good.
Because everybody else will be way too stiff for that.
All right, guys, we need to hop off here. I need
We
to
do.
get the scores posted, and unfortunately, tomorrow's Thursday, so I still have to get up and go to work. And I know a lot of you do too.
So, thank you for joining us.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you to Keith, if you're still with us, for becoming our newest patron. We truly appreciate it.
And thank you to all of our patrons. We
Thank you.
truly appreciate all of you.
And thank you to everybody that tunes in every time we're on, regardless. And you put up with our shenanigans, and you play along with us, and you make us think that somebody likes to watch us. We appreciate that. So until next time, guys, be safe, everybody.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.